Persuading people to take an action, to buy, click, respond, or give to solve a problem is the heart of persuasive writing. And most of us who get paid to write for a living don't get paid to amuse or to distract, but rather to cause an action to happen, to get somebody to say, yes, I will do that.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
So if that's so obvious and so clear and you all agree with it, then why do we fail at it so often? Why do we write and write and write and not get the response that we are hoping for, that we're getting paid to get?
Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
How can we accomplish what we want to accomplish in our writing? So let's take a look at the subject of problem solving and how learning how problem solving works in persuasive writing can make you a better, more successful writer. Hi, I'm James Callahan, and this is the Do-Over Show. And I have to tell you, I spent my life transitioning from someone who wrote things to show off about me, my academic writing, to trying to get people to persuade them to take an action, an appropriate action for the organization that I was working for profit and nonprofit. And that shift is not an easy one, but it was critical in figuring out how persuasive writing actually works.
I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
So let's start with a reality check. Most of us are not world-famous writers. Our name hardly goes on things or rarely appears associated with the work product that we produce. And yet we all love our words and our work, and getting over those first painful moments of being edited by someone who's not a writer but our boss and wants this thing said differently, even though we're sure the way we wrote it was more poetic, more meaningful, more significant. Getting over that is one of the most difficult burdens to get over as a young writer. But once you get there, once you realize that nothing we produce will ever go from us to the public without going through somebody else's hands, without some editing, once we get over that, how do we become more effective in getting people to take an action in response to the writing? And I'll tell you up front, writing like this, writing persuasive copy, is difficult. It is not an easy thing. It's not something we're born with a talent for, that we just know how to do it. I know you've heard stories about people who could sell anything to anybody, and they seem to be, in the spoken world, they seem to be like writers who can just get people to respond magically to the things that they write. Good writing, persuasive writing is difficult. We weren't born with a talent for persuasive writing, just like we weren't born with a talent for using a toilet or driving a car. So good writing, persuasive communication in our writing is our goal. And the first step in getting there is learning to identify the problem that is experienced or felt or imagined in our ideal audience. Ideal audience. Our writing also is not for everybody. Our writing is usually only for a select group of people within the larger population. That means that instead of trying to make everybody happy or get people to do things that, for example, that don't like to grill, to get them to all of a sudden want to buy a grill and grill things, is not a winning formula for us. That is, we need to understand our unique audience and what their problems are, how they perceive them, the frustrations they experience, and how our writing is not about how wonderful we are, but how their problems can go away with their action taking this step. And that means the first step is a good, effective CTA, call to action. Sometimes I read things that are supposed to be in this field of persuasive writing, supposed to encourage somebody to take an action, but they never actually explicitly say, do this to get this result. That is, click here, buy now, 3 easy payments. There is nothing in there that actually tells them what they need to do to solve their problem. And that's just poor writing. What's the alternative? Constantly explaining, over-explaining, and justifying their willingness to engage with us, our product, which has 50 qualities, their 10 things are better than 3 other people, and to give them over and over again assertions of how wonderful we are and how good we are at solving problems. That's not what gets people to engage. That's not what gets an action that is persuaded by that kind of writing. And why do we do that? Why do we throw out so much thinking that we're going to prove people into submission? It's because of our insecurities. And that is, again, one of the early experiences as a writer, that you want to justify that I'm going to use a lot of words and I'm going to show you how important my words are by how good our product or service is. That's why so many of us are worried about unsubscribes to email direct marketing campaigns. We look at that, we mail to 5,000 people and we get 5 unsubscribes and our world crashes in on us. Why did those 5 people not like us? It's a gift when somebody unsubscribes, because then you realize they're not your customer, or they don't see themselves as your customer yet. They're not on your side, you're not on their side. They don't hate you, they didn't call your mother any names. They're just not part of your concern anymore. You're freed from them. So now you got 4,995 more people that actually didn't unsubscribe. What are you going to do with them? One of the most successful formulas for a good ask, a good call to action, is to keep it singular and to repeat it 3 times in slightly different ways to reinforce action, beginning, middle, and end. Okay, you ever look at a heat map of your marketing, that is where people's eyes go or what they click on? You can do reader studies, those are a little more complicated, but just in most email programs, if you use a mass mailer like Constant Contact or MailChimp, you can get a heat map of where on the document they actually clicked. And if you give them an option to click, beginning, middle, and end, most of us think after we prove everything, they must click on the bottom. Nope. Bottom is the last place they click. First place they click, in the middle. Second place, right on top. Before you've proven how wonderful you are to them, they click.
Hiya.
And this repetition of the one ask reinforces that, oh, that is the best way I can solve this problem. Yo, that's the way I get to solve that's the way I get to solve the problem. Yes, I'm going to go for that. That is keeping it that simple. Repeating one ask 3 times is a formula for success with a CTA. And doing this also helps them avoid decision fatigue. You know, when we throw 10 different options at people, if you like blue, click here, if you like red, click there, but it takes us to completely different things, different subjects, different fields. Our newsletter, which jam-packed with 10 different things, takes us to our website. Oh, maybe make sure you follow us here on Facebook and Instagram. When we do that to people, we make their brains burn calories to make the right choice. If you have 6 different things to say, then those are 6 different channels that you need to do it. 6 different and separate ways to make 6 different asks. Don't lump them all together thinking, well, you've done your job. All you've done is just spewed out into one document or one presentation, everything hoping that something will stick. That shows not only a lack of focus, but a lack of confidence. And a lack of confidence is not attractive in marketing. And by the way, as you practice your writing, because it does take practice, you're going to learn more about yourself, how you see your audience, and writing more clearly for your audience. That means even about the one product that you may be responsible for, you've got top, middle, and bottom of funnel to keep in mind and ways of talking about that one thing. Instead of just saying the same thing over again, trying to wear them down like some drip water torture, you're going to give them all the avenues that they need to engage, to buy, to give, to want to be part of the community that you are going to help them be the hero of. And thanks for being part of the Do-Over Show. Please, could you tap the like button? Because it really helps. And while you're down there, how about you subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. I'm so glad you found me, and I found you. Thanks.